Couch art. Art for the sick, tired, or comfort seeker. Here's what you'll need to follow along. Some comfy clothes, some daylight, or whatever natural light source or other source of light you choose. A cute dog. That's always a plus. A warm drink, especially if you're sick. And of course, you want a special message with your tea bag, because if not, then you're being ripped off. And more cute dog poses, because they bring us joy when we're sick. Don't forget your materials. So I'm using a sketchbook, just a recycled sketch paper with some pens. Cheap pens are better. And a comfy couch spot. Couch art will not be complete without a comfy couch. And here's my position. Let's begin. Now, one of the materials I mentioned was a dog. Now, you can substitute this for a cat or a bird or whatever other animal. And if you don't have an animal, perhaps there's a human being or someone else that can provide you comfort and support. Love unconditionally, not sure about that though. So it's pretty essential for the comfort value of this episode or this practice. And I'm going to take out my sketchbook, and I have one more space to work in, and I found an image that's going to work for me, and I'm going to take sipping breaks here and there to coat my throat. It's a throat coat tea. And take a little breather, because when you're sick, it takes energy even to draw. This is something that does take energy and some stamina, even though I'm resting on the couch. So feel free to take some breaks. I know it doesn't seem like I'm exerting a lot of effort, and I'm not choosing to do something that is, wearing on and taxing on the body, but even just the brain, when you're starting out in the early stages of a sickness, you just need rest, and your body's telling you got to do it. Sometimes you got to listen to your body. So we found an image with a lot of expression, and we're sketching in pen and following suit with the previous sketches on this page. And I'm not sure if I will do 100 heads in pen, but I do have 100 heads that I've done in pencil without an eraser. You can go take a look at that video if you'd like to see a tour of the 100 heads I did with no eraser, using pencil only. And I did allow myself to smudge, that kind of thing. So this one's a bit different because I don't have the smudging capabilities, but it's kind of similar. So here's one of my breaks that I need to let my body rest a bit. And if you're sick, please give yourself a little bit of rest if you can, when you can. All right, so back to it. I first blocked out kind of the outer edges, and I'm new to sketching with pen, so I'm not going to say that's the way to do it, but I'm just treating it similar to how I would with a pencil, knowing that I can't smudge, because sometimes I like to kind of smudge things out and then use an eraser if I'm using pencil. And you kind of go backwards with drawing sometimes, and that can be really effective with kind of the softer tones, like along the skin where there's like subtle changes. So with this, I've kind of mapped things out lightly with the pen, and then I'm going in deeper into the details and just enhancing and finding those areas that need kind of the dark marks and tones, using that pen repeatedly over those areas. This pen I was pretty impressed by, and I found that it was another YouTuber that was saying these cheaper pens often are the best for this sketching method. And I have to say, this particular one is really good. And I copied what I was looking around the house for this pen, this big, round, whatever pen, and luckily I found one. Or something similar to this brand. There was another brand that I have, Z-Grip, the zebra one. This one I find I do like writing with, but man, oh man, when I'm sketching with it, it just bleeds out like blobs of ink. And I'll have to show you that when I do a tour of the pen sketches, because the couple that I did with it just frustrating areas when you're trying to do really light, and then all of a sudden a blotch of ink occurs. Now, I was told that in some tutorials that I was watching, because I'm a lifelong learner, I'm going to keep learning and then sharing what I learn. But having a scrap paper where you kind of blot off the pen once in a while is helpful. Now, I was doing that, and I don't have to do that with this pen, by the way. I didn't find I had to do that ever with this pen, which was so nice. This other zebra pen, man, it would just, like I said, ink out, and just unexpectedly, it wasn't that it was all building up that I could see. And so I guess I wasn't, dabbing it off frequently enough, which I felt like I was. And if I wasn't, then I didn't think it was worth using, because at that rate, I just find that extremely annoying to try to use that in sketching. Always having to, wipe it off every few seconds and then still get ink blots. It just didn't make sense to me. So, a little sip, my drink of tea. It's a throat coat tea that is so good. You don't even need additional anything with it. It's just, the flavor is really nice. I'm not a huge tea fan actually, but when I'm sick, I go for a tea. Or if I have like a tummy slight upset, I go for like a ginger tea. I'm more just like a water gal. I just like drinking my water. Sometimes I'll put something in my water, like an electrolyte or something. But anyways, I don't know why I felt like I needed to tell you that. It is cool though with these teas when they have the little special message. But anyways, once you have things kind of set in place, like the major areas, then you can add in those details. Like I hadn't put in, the shirt and things like that yet, but because I had already placed the neck and the face and, all that, it made it a lot easier to put those in. And when you're not feeling well, you don't want difficult things as much. You want to make your life a little bit easier. You want some comfort. This is what this is about, being on the couch. It's a little bit about comfort. So tell me what you like to do when you're sitting on the couch. Like, do you knit? Do you crochet? Do you do puzzles? Do you do phone games? Like, do you do stuff extra on the couch, like while you're watching a show? Or are you just like present with the show and the people that you're with? Now, for me, when I'm watching a show, I don't feel like it's rude to be on, sketching while that's happening. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think differently, or what you think is good etiquette if you're watching a show, with your family. Like, I think if you invite people over specifically to watch a show, it might be rude to do another activity, but unless people are like talking to you and you're just ignoring them, then I don't see a problem with it personally. But I just like to do more than one thing at a time, and I need more tea. I need tea right now. I just had a vitamin C drink, so I think I'm good for the moment. But one thing that I would like to improve upon with this ink sketching is the hair, especially like this particular hair from this reference image was just kind of all over the place, kind of like that messy hair look. And yeah, I guess I would like to improve the look of how I execute that. But I'm happy with kind of the overall proportions of it and that kind of thing, and how it works with the other figures on the page. I do wish I finished the previous figure. I guess it's just a portrait, but I don't remember why I didn't finish it, but if I wasn't just tired and stopped working on it. But I don't have the reference image anymore, so I guess I could make it into something else, transform it into another image or something. Be kind of interesting. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this pen, and I got excited when I saw some YouTubers using like other colors as well into one sketch. But for the time being, I'm going to kind of use what I have, especially when I'm not feeling great, and we'll expand as we go along. But I did add something to my wish list. I think it was so that I wouldn't forget what it is. So I'm going to put that in the description if you want to try out some pens. Then give it a go. These are ones that I would like to try. So check out my product recommendations if you're not sure about materials. I know it can be really hard to buy materials. You're spending money and you want to make sure that it's going somewhere that's going to make sense of value, right? So you don't want to buy something that either you're not going to use or doesn't work well, and that's always frustrating. So that's why I sometimes keep things kind of in my wish list, because I'm thinking about them and not certain about them, or just maybe don't feel like I quite need them yet. So maybe just try to be your best artist with the materials you have. And if you really have nothing, like if you don't have one of these pens, I'm sure you have somebody, a neighbor, who would lend you one, give you one. I'm not going to suggest taking one from anyone because I don't think that's right. But I'm sure someone would part with a pen for you. Hopefully you have someone in your life who loves you that much. So now I'm just getting in those last details, refining any areas where I want to get those highlights in best and the lowlights, so the shadows and things kind of set in place, because that's going to be what makes it look most realistic, is pushing yourself past that kind of, oh, I think it's finished point, like really feeling that it's like finished. That's what I want you guys to get to. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me with this incredibly amazing voice that I have today. Don't forget to write down the date when you sketch in your sketchbook. I really love to know the date of when I created something so I can see how far I've come, like in the future. And just a bit of a close-up so you can see how it looks. I think you should caption in the comments. Let's caption that face that I just sketched. What is he saying? What is the scenario regarding that face? Love to hear it in the comments. What? Oh, love it. Thank you guys so much for being here. What do you think of this sketch? I think it's pretty good. It's all right. And there's Charlie at the end of it. He's wiped out as well. So I hope you guys are enjoying your time on the couch and that you're cozy, comfy, and still creating. And I hope you have a fantastic week. And hopefully next week I'll be all better. But thanks for joining me in today's couch art. See you next time.